MeTV 24 Meridian proudly presents your favorite way to start the day. Welcome to Mornings with Scotty Ray and Candace.
There we go. It works better if we turn the microphones on.
How are y'all this morning? I hope you're doing good.
Back once again. It was a busy day that stretched into the nighttime hours last night. Why? Because, well, bad people were doing bad things and you had to know about it. And it just went on and on and on. And we're going to talk about the bad folks this morning. Tell you all about what they've done. We may need 3 hours to do it.
And if you're watching this morning and you think your equilibrium is off, it's not. It's the camera.
Yeah. I didn't get a chance to fix that. It's straight on, but the wall behind it looks a little different.
Yeah.
We'll get that fixed today.
Yeah.
Criminals will behave. I just didn't have time.
He was so busy yesterday covering all the craziness.
It was slammed. Now, let's start off with this. Now, I covered this a while ago, but we cannot cover this enough because this is what I would call a serious matter that has been going on and on and on. Wrong messages out. Let's talk about Newton County first. There's an email, a Facebook post, also I think on other forms of social media floating around that there are numerous murders in Newton County. That is not the case. If you will go, and let me pull this up for you. This is a direct message from Newton County. This is on our website, sammedia.network, SAMEDIA.network. I have shared it to Facebook. If you will share this, this clearly states that there has not been any other murders than the original murder that happened on February, let me see what that is, March 4th, last Friday. Now, it is all throughout social media that there's been other ladies killed with portions of their bodies removed, and that ain't true. It's not. This was as of 6:30 p.m. last night when I spoke to the County Sheriff's Department, to Jody Pennington. Absolutely untrue. Phone lines are going nuts over there, people thinking that there's a killer loose, and that's not the case. Now, I had somebody else keep going, well, why isn't the Sheriff's Department telling us all of this? More about it. They can't. The FBI is in charge of the investigation of 2 murders, murder victims, let me word it that way. They were found on tribal land, which puts the FBI in charge of the case. So they're not sharing information. FBI doesn't share with nobody. It's like, this is my sandbox and y'all cannot play in it.
Well, I mean, I guess because of stuff like this happening, you know, people start talking and then things get out of misconstrued. And yeah, it could, I mean, I would think it could botch an investigation if you had too much stuff going on. So.
Right, my mic is back on now.
Oh, was it off?
I think. I don't know how long it was off there, but it probably picked you up over there, me over there.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, somebody said my sound was low. That's my fault. I somehow or another didn't hit it. But again, repeating what I said, that there has not been any other murders in Newton County, period. It's the original case, and that's where it is. We'll watch this, and I even emailed a source last night that was spreading it and said, look, it's not true. Here's the email. We'll see if they pay attention to that. Yeah. But it is scary, and I know people are worried about all of that.
Yeah, I mean, I would think, I'd be concerned if I was in an area, but that was going on. But they're taking care of it, though. They're trying to investigate everything.
As Barney would say, let's nip it in the bud.
Yeah.
Nip it in the bud. There's not any more than the original. Now, let's talk about this. And I happen to know this was a mother and a small child last night that was involved in this. The Meridian Police Department got into a pursuit of someone that decided they didn't want to stop because they were speeding. And it twisted around. It started on Mosby Road over near Highway 19. And then it would round through this neighborhood, and they ran every stop sign, sped through them, done what they wanted. And then they come up on 29th Avenue, which is a no-no, headed toward North Hill Street, and they did not stop, ran a red light. And let's pull up the video of what happened last night there, because it's a pretty serious wreck. The car overflipped. It was a mess, and it's a wonder someone wasn't seriously hurt. As we pull this up, let's show that video here.
High-speed pursuit coming from the
Now, that's, as you can see, the trees are knocked down here across from AutoZone or Advanced Auto there. That's on the corner right there, across from Firestone, is where all that happened. And it flipped her car. It's a wonder.
That would be the parking lot that used to be like Rhonda's Connection.
Yes.
I think now Haven Hair Salon and all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly where that was. It's they went to the emergency room. It wasn't anything life-threatening. I'll word it that way, but a scary situation for a mother and a child to be hit by someone doing something like that.
Yes.
And then there turned out to be a crowd later, from what I understand, that went on there. But our thoughts are with them this morning.
Yes.
And then as the evening went on, I got a message from somebody that was sitting near Roebuck Drive and said, "Look, cops are moving in everywhere here." So they whipped out a video, and this was going on. Let me pull this up and show you this. What if you were at a gas pump? A few days before that, your car had been stolen. And you go, "That's my car." Mm-hmm. Would you, A, wait till they filled up your car so you could get a little extra out of this, or B, go ahead and call the cops? Mm-hmm. Well, it kind of worked out where they got a free tank of gas after their car had been stolen. Let's pull this up. And again, this is alleged, supposedly, but let's pull this up where you can see this. MPD was all over this. They took down bad guy. Maybe I should have used the other video. I should have. Let's back out of this and go to the second video and show you here of what was going on. MPD got them for taking a car that was not theirs.
Well, that's good.
MPD was everywhere last night. I'm not by any means discrediting what they do, because I don't want y'all to think that. They've got their hands full.
Yeah.
As I went over the list earlier this morning, there was a black car. And yesterday, I shied away from anything that was a black car, period, because there were so many reportings of a black car being involved in shootings. Mm-hmm. The passenger on the back seat hanging out with guns, shooting through numerous neighborhoods. And let's just go over a few of these of where all of this happened. It is my belief, and I think most people will agree with me, that you should know about where these situations are happening. If it's near you, you know about it in advance. Drive-by shooting yesterday about lunchtime on Royal Road, the 4600 block. Now, originally it was reported that the house was shot up and the car was shot up, and I think they backed up on that statement and said that it was shots in the area, but nothing hit. We moved on to 1245, same car involved, supposedly. 12th Street, 48th Avenue, and 1100 block of 64th Court. Another black car shooting again. It would start back up around 4 p.m. at 41st Avenue and 20th Street. Again, 43rd near Highland Park, shots fired. Then at 5 p.m., the 300 block of 4th Street, reporting of shots fired in that area. Then over to 44th Street, 20th Avenue, and the list goes on and on and on all the way through about 9 o'clock, when the last time that I heard of anything was in the neighborhood of 1800 block, 34th Street. Now, with all of this said, I don't think anybody was actually hit. I think there were a few cars and homes that may have gotten some lead at some point. But this has got to stop.
Was the black car involved in all of these, or just a good many?
During the daytime,
okay.
All of those. The nighttime ones, that 1800 was a truck and a cream-colored car involved in that, shooting at one another, going down the street. Are they all tied together? Probably. Can I prove that? No. But this goes back to report it. We got to get these people off the streets. If you see something that does not look right, call the cops. Tell them, hey, there's somebody in my neighborhood that just shot, or I heard something. I saw this type of car, to where they can put it out on the radios and get it across town to stop them before someone else gets hurt. Did I say too much?
No. I mean, I don't know what the answer is. I don't know if you could, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, as far as, like, could you maybe have undercover people in these areas just kind of sit?
Well, I think that's going to be neighborhood watch, because there's not enough extra officers to just sit. It'll take neighborhood watch programs in our neighborhood to help do that. So if you don't have one, call the Meridian Police Department. They'll help you get set up with a neighborhood watch program.
This has just gotten out of hand.
Buy you some walkie-talkies.
Yeah, way out of hand. I mean, it's just every day, you know, every day.
And I mentioned this morning. I do believe that this murder that happened this weekend, and y'all correct me and help me, but is this the first murder in Meridian of the year? It seems like the last ones were in December. We've had a bunch of shootings now, but I don't think anybody has died. This would be the first one that happened this past Sunday. Just a bad situation all the way around.
It is.
We're here to protect you most of all. That's what we're trying to do, is give you a heads up when things go bad in the community so that you'll know in advance of what's going on there. That's our thoughts. Hey, we had a wreck a little bit ago. This is going to be over on 65th and 80th. I got this just a few moments ago. Someone reported a little fender bender there. Cops came out, handled that situation also. Streets are slick, and
they are. Yeah, when it hadn't rained for a little while, and then it rains, they tend to be real slick. But
now, what happens when, you hadn't checked your glasses lately and you think you're taking an exit? This is the scene last night. If you were going to get off, you're coming from the west, heading the last exit in Meridian, where you'd get off to go to Sam's, or you would get off to go eat there at the crossroads. Here's the scene of about 9:30 last night. He just went ahead and took the exit early, drove right down the embankment.
My goodness.
Rump row.
And he wasn't like asleep or anything when that happened?
Just got confused from what I understand and took it early. Okay. I'm sure he got a little minor ticket out of that situation, and the DOT had a long talk with him over the situation. But
gosh, that could have been really, really bad, though.
And I'm one of those that, I don't know if everybody else is this way. I respect an 18-wheeler. Like, when I go to pass it, I am not going to wait around in case there's a blind spot.
You're going to floor it, get around it. That's how I am, too. I keep thinking, Lord, I hope there's not a cop sitting up here while I'm trying to get around this truck.
But we all know you've seen one start easing over on you, and it'll give you that panic.
I know. It will. We had one almost come over in our lane. He did come over halfway into our lane in front of us.
Oh, boy.
One time. I don't know if he dozed off or what, but
could have been texting and driving. You never know.
You don't know.
Lots going on this morning. We've got a special guest that's going to join us here in a moment. Odie Barrett. He's with the Lauderdale County Emergency Management. He's got a lot to talk about. We're going to include what you've got to say. Y'all don't go anywhere. We're just getting started here at this first part of this hour here with Scotty Ray Candace. Y'all stay close. The back porch of Meridian is now open on Highway 19. Anything outdoors. Grills, fryers, pellets. And all grills come with free assembly. Whether you're looking for a cooler or custom woodwork. Plus local beef, milk and ice cream from Beeson, products from Cyples Mills, spices, and a whole lot more. And don't forget to check out the She Shed, where you'll find authentic Louis Vuitton purses and more. And we can't leave out the spoon fudge. The back porch, Highway 19 North Meridian. The Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville has these great savings this week. Mississippi sweet potatoes, 69 cents a pound. Florida strawberries, $2.99. Heinz squeezable ketchup, 32 ounce, $3.49. Skippy peanut butter, 16.3 ounce, 2 for $5. Baby back ribs, $5.99 a pound. And certified Angus beef top sirloin steak, $7.49 a pound.
And we're down home, down the street, Piggly Wiggly.
On June 30th, 2021, the FDA alerted the public that Philips recalled certain CPAP devices due to concerns regarding its polyester-based polyurethane sound abatement foam. This is a Class 1 recall, the most serious type of recall. Use of these devices may cause serious injuries or death. If you're diagnosed with long-term, permanent, and life-threatening health complications, your illness may be linked to your use of a Philips breathing device, and you may be entitled to compensation. Call Richard Swartz & Associates for a case evaluation today.
And welcome back with Scotty Ray and Candace. And as we said, we have a special guest this morning as we welcome in the Deputy Director. Oh, he didn't show, did he? No. So we'll bring in just the Director. Look at the empty chair. Greg, where are you?
And we would be able to see him if he was here.
Yes.
So,
welcome, Odie.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
I think what we're going to do is go ahead and officially deputize you while you're here and make you just help out with the police department.
Yeah, there we go. We'll come up with something.
You're kin to most everybody in the county and know everybody. And Greg, who, if he were here, dated the other half. So
That's
they
right.
were perfect.
Yeah. So we work together good. So,
So what has been going on y'all's end? We hear, I know that y'all were out late one night at Otibby. The volunteer fire departments, I ran into Bailey, and them boys look ragged. They needed a Gatorade.
you know, and that's the bad part. If you go and look at all of these different scenes that we respond to, it's always the same people, because we don't have anybody new that's coming in and nobody wanting to join and nobody wanting to help. And you've seen the meme going around Facebook, you know, gas at $4 a gallon, and these volunteers are using their gas going to emergencies. And it takes a special person to get up at all hours of the night and go and respond to all these calls. When it's the same ones over and over again, it becomes to where it does wear down on you, and it does take a lot of time away from your family, and you still got a job to do during the day. So we need help. All county-wide fire departments
So
need a lot
sign
of
your
help.
mother-in-law up, send her up to the firehouse.
Yes. We need people to help cook when we have fundraisers. We need people to just help the firefighters that come out of the fire and be able to get a bottle of water and relax and take your coat off for a minute and cool off. We need somebody to help with traffic.
You know, and as you say that, because I think a lot of people go, well, I can't go in a burning house. Well, that's not for everybody. Y'all have a position.
Right. There's a lot more
Yes.
to it, right?
It is. We've got a position for everybody out there. And going inside of a burning home is not for everyone. But
Like
if it
your-
is for you, we will train you how to do it properly.
Like your deputy director, him showing up on time just isn't going to happen.
Well, you know, I didn't buy a watch for him. I figured he would get that for himself. But so I guess we'll go to Walmart when we leave here, and I'll see if I can't find him a Mickey Mouse
Now,
watch.
y'all, I'm gonna take
It's got to
it
be
for-
digital,
what if
though.
What if he's tending to a situation?
He is. It's
And
a biscuit in the hardest
That's
line.
exactly what it is. The drive-through was not going quite as fast as he thought. And he may be working. I don't have signal up here, and I don't have my radio. So he may be out on the road working. And if he is, sorry for the hard time, but you'll be all right.
Deputy, let's see here. We're going to text. I'm going to send a question mark since I do
I
have
don't think he'd have
service.
missed it. I think he has a good time when he comes here. Don't you think?
He normally acts like he does, but
Yeah.
I guess sometimes if you don't like somebody, you just, you know.
Well, but we'll figure something out. He's probably sitting back drinking a cup of coffee laughing at us, especially me.
And we got to address this next problem. What was this that you got a message up here, Odie? And I don't know if you're aware of all this. Is some woman up here claiming that she's your wife and you're hot or something like that?
Yeah, you just passed her. She's down there a little bit. Where's she at? I saw it on there. There she is.
That's my wonderful husband, she says.
Checks in the mail, honey. I can't go home and give her money because she's not at home.
Oh,
Well,
boy.
she's not at we call it our northern home and our beach home. So she's down at the beach house right now, getting ready for work.
Well, bless her heart. Glad to see her going. Now, let's talk about this. So we brought up this that you do need help. What do you do if you're sitting back? Well, I can do a little bit of this, so maybe whether it's water or I can help direct traffic. What do they do? Who do they call? Because that a lot of people are nervous and just don't want to call someone.
Yeah.
Well, so if you know what area you're in and you know what fire department serves your area, you can get with that chief or get with that department when you see training nights, when you've got multiple cars out there. Bailey, I know they meet every Tuesday at one of their stations. Sukalina, we meet the third Monday of every month. But if you're not real sure or you don't know who the chief is, you can call our office at 601-482-9852. And we will be able to get you in touch with who you need to get in touch with and talk to you about it. If you just have some questions, give us a call. If we don't answer the phone, leave us a message. We will call you back. Sometimes we are out dealing with problems ourselves, so we don't answer that call or that phone 24/7. But give us a call, and we'll be glad to talk to you and explain to you some different things that you can do to help out your community.
I have a question on this, and this is one of those obscure questions. Do you have to have a CDL to drive a fire truck?
You don't have to have a CDL. You do have to go through our training class. So we do have training that goes over how to drive that truck, the laws that go along with that truck. Just because you've got flashy red lights and a siren does not give you the right to speed, run stop signs, or anything. You have to obey all traffic laws, and you've got more consequences on you while you're driving and something happens. So we do extensive training, not just for fighting the fire, but also for driving the big red flashy truck.
Candace slid me a note while you were talking there, and it said, "Do you have a hat that won't mess up my hair?"
We'll find a hat that won't mess your hair up. We'll come up with something.
I did not say that.
We can come up with all kind of solutions.
That's crazy.
Now, let's address this. I got my inbox as I was sitting here yesterday doing something, started going ding, 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 ding. And then so I dinged you, and you dinged me back. And this is what I'm talking about. The sirens that went off yesterday. Let's address this, because we don't want anybody to misunderstand what went on.
Exactly. So we do test the sirens once a month, and that is on the first Monday of every month at 12 o'clock noon. Now, that is only if it is a nice day and we have no impending weather. There was a slip up. I'm not going to call names and blame this, blame that. It was a mistake. That should not have happened. That test should not have occurred until next week. So that's if the bad weather, say yesterday, we should have pushed that off 1 week. So if we have bad weather the first Monday, that should take place the second Monday. But that did not happen, and of course, my phone started ringing, Greg's phone started ringing, and we pushed out our initial alert as fast as we could to let everybody know, hey, that this was nothing saying that we've got a tornado in the area or coming in our area, but that was done, and it should not have been done. We apologize for anybody that kind of got a little panic out of it, because I can imagine people who hear those sirens when you have bad weather, what they go through, and that was not the right time for us to do that.
All right, and so we want to just straighten that out for everybody. Hey, we got a message from your deputy director.
Oh, so he can text.
He claimed that he was outside and nobody answered the door, so he went on to work.
The doors are open.
I know. He says, I'm at the office now.
Yeah. Well, get the coffee pot going. I don't even know if he knows how to make coffee.
Side door was a...
Boy. We're going to have a long talk with that boy.
Yeah.
If you can't get in one way, I thought firemen knew that. You come in another way.
Or
that's the way you're supposed
when
to.
I get locked out, text Scotty Ray.
Where are you?
Come open the door. Yeah. Oh, Lee.
Now, I don't think I can put my hands on this. Let's talk about what happened. Pine Springs, there was a fire there the other afternoon that was huge on Pine Springs Road. And then also out at the dam, we had a brush fire. Is that it?
That's it. It was a brush fire. And I'm glad whoever took the video sent that through one person to me to try and get someone out there. And that's fine. If you want to take videos of fires, by all means do it. But also, please call 911 and let's get the fire department en route. But it was on the very back side of the dam, the spillway, behind a locked, it was a closed gate. And so it took a few minutes to get a fire truck back there to it. And then soft ground, real heavy truck.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, it's not easy to get these trucks that's carrying 1,500 gallons of water, 1,000 gallons of water into an area through dirt and grass, because you will get these things stuck. So we have to be cautious where we park when we go to an incident, and then we're out there hoofing it, buckets of water.
And let's bring attention to this. Used to, we had a little group that was in Lauderdale County called the Forestry Commission. they are gone. Like, it's like that guy, the greasy guy that used to pump your gas and wash off your windshield. He is gone.
Yeah, they're
not
gone. They're an hour and a half away when we're lucky. And so when we have an incident, we need forestry, it's going to be at least an hour and a half before they're here in Lauderdale County. So the sooner we can get notification, the sooner we can get units out there to see exactly what kind of fire we've got and what kind of impending danger we have with that fire. If there's other structures that are close by, we need as much time as possible that we can get up with forestry to have them here. That's the sad part of today's time. We used to have forestry right here in Lauderdale County. That was Greg. I hope he was never as late for those fires as he is for this interview, but
if you notice, we just got a message that says he's not at work.
He's not at work, yeah. And he's at that's our what's my key word? So that's Charlie. He took Dinah's place. Dinah was our long-time 35-year employee that kept all of us straight.
35 years?
Yeah, 35 years.
That's a long time.
So she was very knowledgeable. And Charlie has jumped in there and really taken the helm and doing some good work. And so, yeah, he's at the office, and so he would know.
Well, so I think now, his text was, I'm almost back at the office. So maybe he's walked in by now.
Yeah.
Look, Greg, I'm trying to take up for him.
There's no help for taking up
some
for him.
grits and something else to keep him occupied.
Yeah, if he passed a restaurant, we know where he's at.
That does happen.
So,
I feel for y'all because, you know, karma gonna come back and bite you. He's gonna get y'all back.
He will, and that's why we do this and take hits at each other. Because I owe him one, but he'll get me back.
And I'll share what I walked in on the other day. I happen to know the cleaning lady, and she let me in. I slipped in on them the other afternoon, and I'll share what was going on there in a few moments there. But there is so much in Lauderdale County that the average citizen, and no matter what county you're watching me from, it doesn't have to be Lauderdale County. You're needed in Kemper. You're needed in Neshoba. I know we got a lot of folks there in Newton and Clark County that need your help in your community. That's what makes us all tick.
That's
hand in hand.
Across the nation, out of every firefighter there is in the United States, over 75% of them are volunteers. So the help is needed.
And you never know when it's going to be you that needs the help too. So
exactly,
always offer help to somebody else.
Exactly, and it does. It helps your back pocket. Mm-hmm. The better fire department you have, the better your insurance rates on your homes are. And we're working on some information to get that out. But this will help your bottom dollar.
Your fire hydrants, of how many of them you have, that helps your insurance too, doesn't it?
That helps your insurance and keeping them up to date. We've got to go out and test them. We've got to make sure what our GPMs flow. We've got to make sure we've got enough pressure to fill our tankers. So we have mobile fire plugs, if you will, on our tankers. But you've got to refill them once you dump 3,000 gallons out of the tankers into our portable ponds there. We've got to get those back and refilled. And if you don't have a fire hydrant that can sufficiently fill those in a nice amount of time, you're getting behind the 8 ball.
Sure are.
We need people who can drive the trucks. If you were a trucker for a long time and you retired and now you're sitting back wondering, well, what can I do?
Right.
Hey, bringing water to us through the tanker. That's a big plus. We need people who to bring the apparatus to our scenes.
And if you're single looking for a date, it's a great way to meet a lot of people because fire truck goes everywhere.
Exactly. And if you're doing traffic control, you can stop that car. So I wouldn't suggest that. But.
Let me say this on a personal note. You finally, after 5 or 6 attempts, it may be that much, finally got to go on your honeymoon. Did you? Y'all went on a ship?
Yes, finally. We, between carnival counseling and then all of a sudden I got the COVID and I had to cancel. We were able to go 2 weeks ago on the Carnival Mardi Gras and spent 7 days on the ship. And
And I
Had a
asked these
wonderful
questions.
time.
Candace, have you ever been on a cruise?
I haven't, but
Me
I was
either.
just fixing to say, was 7 days
Sufficient?
sufficient or was that too much? I'm just thinking like I might think 7 days.
It depends
was a little
on
much for me.
It depends on the ship. So the Carnival Valor, we've gone on it, and that flows out of New Orleans, and we did a 4-day over Thanksgiving, and that was perfect. 4 days was great on that ship. The Carnival Mardi Gras, on the other hand, 7 days was not enough to see that entire ship. So we've got to go back at least 2 more times just to see everything that's on this ship. It is huge.
Let me ask, food, what happens on your, because I'm sure there's a lot of people that are watching go, I'd like to try it, but I'm a little, is the food incredible? How do you rate that?
You've got a smorgasbord of food, and if you don't really like exactly authentic on the buffet because they've tried something different or from another country, then you can always go to Shaq's Chicken or Guy's Burgers, or they've got cantinas on there, and you've got a Mexican restaurant on there.
That's part of your ticket, isn't it? You can just eat whatever you want and float around.
Yeah. I mean that comes included. Now we went and had one night at the steakhouse, and that was an upcharge. I think we paid $30 for each of us, so $60, and we had a wonderful steak dinner. So there's some restaurants that are an upcharge. But for the most part, your food's included, and I'm telling you, that's some good stuff, and there's plenty of food. You're not going to go hungry.
I'm going to send Candace first, and she's going to tell me how she likes it.
Look, I have wanted to go on. I don't know. I'm just always one of those what if people, and I just think
Titanic?
about Titanic. I don't know. I just like, yes. I mean, it freaks me out to think about it.
They've got lifeboats that they can put down, and 100 of people are on each one of these boats.
What
You're
about
safe.
sleeping? The motion of the ocean, does it make you sick, or do
you feel that even? I guess on bigger ships you might not feel it as much.
Well, now we were up on the 15th floor.
15th floor?
15th floor. Okay, that right there. You're right.
So we rocked just a little bit, but I was Navy, so I enjoyed being on the ship, and a Navy ship, it rocks a whole lot more than these.
Yeah, I bet so.
Ocean liners meant for hotels.
Yeah.
But you've got to, like Amy said, she wants to try the escargot. I told her, I said, if you want a snail, baby, you eat the snail. I'll film I'll take a picture, but I ain't going to do it.
More coming up with Odie. We've got a lot to discuss as we head toward the top of the hour. Good morning. Make sure to carry your raincoat as we head for high only in the 50s today.
It is cold today.
More up and coming right here with Scotty Ray and Candace. The Precast Group, offering you the best selection when it comes to a storm shelter. Located on 145 South in Meridian, where they offer above-ground shelters that can be installed in your home as you're built-in, are conveniently located right outside your home if it's already built. They also offer storm shelters that can be installed in a slight bank or on flat ground. Protect your family today with a very affordable storm shelter from the Precast Group. Highway 145 South, 601-482-0003. The Precast Group.
H&H Residential of Meridian is your #1 carpet and flooring store. If you've been thinking of a new look for your home or office, call for a free estimate or consultation. H&H can install, or you can do it yourself. H&H has all of your design needs from color, style, and texture. If you can dream it, H&H can make it a reality. Come see the large selection of hardwood flooring, laminate, vinyl, and even carpet. H&H Residential of Meridian, open Monday through Friday, 9 to 4, 321 Hawkins Crossing Road. Call Rosemary anytime, 601-462-9541.
As the days get warmer, the grass starts growing. Drop in and visit with Freeman Tractor on Highway 494 in Sicalina, where they've got a complete line of the #1 lawnmower in America, Skag. Whether you're a homeowner or a lawn care service, Freeman Tractor has the lawnmower just for you. Plus, they carry Exmark tractors and any part that you may need for your existing tractor or lawnmower. Drop in and see Cole or Buttermilk today. Freeman Tractor, Highway 494, 601-626-8759.
Welcome back with Scotty Ray and Candace to a beautiful Tuesday morning that might be wet in your neighborhood. Odie Barrett is our special guest this morning with the Lauderdale County Emergency Management Team. And as I said, I had a third cousin who cleans down there where they work, and I snuck in the other day. And you just never know what you'll walk into. But it reminded me when I saw what the number one song was in 1975, and we had Greg, his number 2 man down there, singing it. He loves this song, just can't help but sing it. Who remembers, Have You Ever Been Mellow? Have You Ever Been Blue? It's Greg's favorite.
Oh, really?
He sings it all the time in the office.
Yeah, that's his motto.
Have you ever been mellow?
He might be singing "Take This Job and Shove It" after today.
That one, his favorite motto is like, Greg, what took you so long to get here? And he'll look at you and he'll say, the longer it takes for you to get here, the happy they are to see you when you get here.
Can y'all believe that's been 1975 since that? Because I can remember it. I wasn't but 6 when the song come out, but I do remember her humming that.
I've
been a
never
while.
Odie, did you just hear what she said?
I've never heard that song that I know of.
Have you ever heard
of probably all the rest of them, but I've
Please,
She
Mr.
had to.
Please.
She just doesn't know it.
You don't know Please, Mr. Please, Don't Play A17? It was his song, our song.
I don't know.
Odie.
We've got to play it. It'll start reminiscing there.
Yeah, I might. If I
I heard
it
that.
might ring a bell.
1987 would be the last time that you would get to see a new episode of this. I think we all watched it, and we all wondered why no one ever got hurt. Because they would take a gun out of Mini 14 and shoot 3,000 rounds, and no one ever got nicked. What am I talking about? The very last episode of the A-Team aired tonight.
The guy in the back with the
Murdoch.
Murdoch.
He reminds me of the guy in Green Acres. You know what
Ebb?
I'm talking about?
Ebb.
He looks like him.
Mississippi Ebb.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. But did y'all ever wonder
I
why
did watch it,
the car would be right behind them, and they go, and it would never even flatten the tire.
That's the same what it is in Meridian.
You know, you're right.
They're not shooting. They're shooting, but they're not hitting anybody. Take some NRA gun lessons, save ammo.
That's right. You know what is peculiar about that is if either one of us were to run a stop sign and they made a bolo, we would make it maybe a block and get pulled over by SWAT. And you got these people in a black car. They shot up all over Meridian. No one's seen them.
Yeah.
How did they get away?
Yeah.
And that's not knocking the police department. I'm just saying, how do they do it? Because I need to know.
I don't have that kind of luck.
Me neither.
It's the stealth drive-bys.
The stealth.
Yeah.
That's. I'm just, the police being short-handed. And,
it is.
And they're at one corner and another corner. They're spread out, and these guys, they get from one end of Meridian to the other and just start shooting. And
Yeah.
it's a sad situation.
Dwight Yoakam would make a remake of one of the songs that made this next guy real popular. Please send me the pillow that you dream on so I can dream on it too. Who remembers the song, Please Help Me, I'm Falling? Well, Hank Lachlan. He passed away on this date back in 2009. A big country singer in his time. And we pay respects to him who passed away back in 2009. That's been a while now also. Time is flying and we're all getting old.
It is flying by.
We are doing that.
I'm happy to report on this next thing that she's made enough money now to where she doesn't have to wear opened.
She can get a full shirt.
Yes, because she couldn't afford it back in the day.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at the house that built me. She couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
She was a struggling singer trying to get a full dress.
Yeah.
It was released. I just thought everybody would want another quick shot. Look at that before I changed the picture.
That's right.
Yeah, one wrong move and that would
Good
be a
morning.
disaster, I think.
It would have been. And 2014, I am still baffled over this. We would wake up and go, where'd that plane go? Where is it? Do y'all remember this?
Did they never found the plane?
I don't think they did they?
I don't know.
I don't think so. I think it's still missing.
I was under the impression that we would find that plane parked in somewhere where they had it backed in. We're going to use it to do something bad later. Mm-hmm. But vanished, and I guess the ocean claimed it, is all we can say.
I don't know if they find the first flying saucer anywhere and it has Malaysia around the edge of it.
Well, you might be onto something there.
Yeah.
Which brings
Flying
to mind.
saucer.
Do y'all...
there is a lot of reports about stuff like that nowadays.
It
a
is.
lot more than,
So you are an Area 51 believer?
I really don't know what to think. I've seen video from pilots, like they took the video while they were in the air of like an object going through the sky,
Right.
at a fast rate of speed, just going in a straight line. And
See, I still stand by this is other military equipment that is top secret being tested that they don't know about. That's what I stand by.
I think there possibly is something to it.
Some green people?
I don't know about green people and all that.
A little brownish, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
See, I'm more apt to believe in ghosts than I am an alien.
I don't know.
But
what's that comedian? He said,
something.
He said, if there are aliens out there, why haven't they gone to New York and got out and took pictures and gone to other locations instead of one location in the country? So I figure we'd have seen them walking around by now if they were around.
They
us.
are, Odie. They're in the White House. Okay. That's why we're having
well,
they look like us.
That makes sense.
They don't think like
I'm trying to figure all this out. But I don't know if y'all have ever read the story, and we done this on a podcast, and I cackled and laughed about it. The guy in Mississippi that claimed that he was abducted by a alien back in the 70s. Y'all ever read
Didn't
that
they
story?
have Rick and Bubba? He was on. I think one of them has passed, but there was two guys.
Just two
right?
guys, yeah. They were on a date.
Fishing or something. Weren't
Yep,
they fishing.
fishing.
But
Two guys on a date.
Well,
They had two old girls.
Fish. Okay. All right.
And no, wait a minute. Wait a minute. The girls were up the road and they claimed they saw it too, and they were down here.
yeah, something.
Okay.
I don't know, but one I think was still alive at the time because I think they were on Rick and Bubba. One, I don't know. I'm not sure, but he claims that they separated the guys and they
Yeah.
had the same story
Yeah.
as to what happened. I mean, but yeah,
They
claim-
collaborated before they broke.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
And they were naked. The aliens took their clothes. I don't know if y'all remember that. What alien would want to get two old rednecks from Alabama naked or Mississippi?
Well, every time we've ever seen pictures of aliens, they're naked. So maybe they just wanted some clothes.
But I think the boys had been drinking and were late for work and needed an excuse. If you read it, it makes no sense.
I need to go pull that up.
It's quite the story. So,
Well, there are things that have been seen, like a light. I don't know. I believe that there is something to it. I don't know what.
I boil down to there's trickery with lights. Now, remember the old boy out in Colorado, or was it somewhere like that claimed he was a logger? He was just up there, went to get him a haircut.
Somebody said they wish they'd have gotten her ex. Can't help you there.
That's pretty good. We give Brenda the thumbs up for the great comment of the day.
And
Let's
not brought
talk
him back.
about our friends at the Lauderdale County Farm Supply, where there's no aliens, but they've got lots of tools for you to work. That's right, to do your job right. Whether it's fertilizer or if you're needing some dirt for your garden this weekend, it's right around the corner as everybody starts loving this warmer degrees. Maybe not today, but other days as you get ready there. So much to choose from. If you're looking for a T-shirt, summertime is right around the corner as we do have 80-degree weather coming up. You'll want a good T-shirt to wear, and they're cute on top of that. As you go through this, you Ariat shirts, those cooler days, you still got the hoodies and all of that there, and a ball cap. Maybe you need a good Browning hat. Boy, they wear good. I got one over there on the right that I've had for about 4 years now. They wear and wear and wear. They're good. See them. Maybe a flashlight. When the power goes off, you need something handy in your truck and have you a flashlight there. Work boots for the working man. Odie and his gang wear boots like this all the time. Georgia boots are about the best that you can put your money on. Of course, they carry Ariat and other name brands also, but I'm a firm believer in that Georgia boot. I like them a whole lot there. And as we said, if you need a shovel, an axe, or a handle, they carry that with pet toys and, candles and anything that you might need to cook up a meal there in a hard iron skillet. You'll find it there with guns and ammo and corn and a whole lot more. Where? Exit 151. It's the Lauderdale County Farm Supply. See them today.
It happened so fast. I didn't even see that person behind me. I said, well, I need to call Richard Swartz. Once I made that one call, they began working for me. They are going to make sure you get what you deserve.
One call, that's all.
The Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville has these great savings this week. Mississippi sweet potatoes, 69 cents a pound. Florida strawberries, $2.99. Heinz squeezable ketchup, 32 ounce, $3.49. Skippy peanut butter, 16.3 ounce, 2 for $5. Baby back ribs, $5.99 a pound. And certified Angus beef top sirloin steak, $7.49 a pound.
And we're down home, down the street, Piggly Wiggly.
And welcome back with Scotty Ray and Candace. And our special guest this morning is Odie Barrett, who's been telling us all about the folks that need a little help there with the fire department and different places. And it's been a great time having Odie with us here this morning. Yes. What else do we need to know? What is response? Let me ask this. You're at home, you notice smoke. What is the response time for the average? Because you've got to factor in the people that help are out doing their things at home. What is the average response time to a fire?
You know, it kind of depends, especially on the time of day. If it's in the middle of the night, 11, 12 o'clock, most everybody's abed. Time they get up, get dressed, get to the station, you may be 4 or 5 minutes before somebody gets to the station, and it could be another 4 or 5 minutes before they were able to get on scene. So, you're looking at 10 to 12 minutes before we can get apparatuses and people on the scene.
So you're suggesting jogging breeches to put on in the middle of the night?
That's right. And then put your gear in on top of that. Just get up and go. But now, as soon as you see smoke, let us know.
I don't know if anybody knows Glenn Wedgeworth in the city of Meridian. But I once was a young man at about 17 years old, and he comes to me, he goes, I'm going to take my fireman test tomorrow. Won't you come with me? I said, well, heck, that sounds like a good idea. So I rode down with Glenn to take the test to be a fireman. It all worked pretty good until they made you jump this wall. And I hit the ground, and there was this, I guess what you call a dummy that you had to drag to safety.
Yeah.
And I think I got the bigger one. That had to be a 250-pounder or better because I couldn't move it very far. And I did not pass my test.
Mm.
Yeah, it's pretty stringent test.
That's no kidding.
Don't you have to go into closed-in spaces, too? Do you have to do that?
Yeah, now we call it confined space, but yes, you're in a
It's kind of like sharing
space.
A sink with your wife.
Oh, yeah. And it's like during the training, we just got through with firefighter survival and calling Mayday. We've got you in your air pack. We've got your mask on. You're breathing air. We've got your face covered. You can't see anything. And then we've got you crawling around in a small room trying to find your way out. And then we're screaming and hollering and trying to confuse you and keep you on your toes, but we're pushing you to your limits while we're in a controlled environment. Because once you get inside of a burning home with all the smoke and the toxic fumes that are in there, the last thing you can do is take your mask off. Mm-hmm. So we want to push you to your limit. So there's some parts of firefighting that is mental, and you've got to stay on your wits end and keep yourself pulled together, and during training, we kind of push you to your limits.
And this allows each fire department to know who can do which job best.
Right.
When the fire breaks out, you do this. This is my job. I do this better.
That's it. That's exactly it. We want you to, I have no other way to say it, we want you to freak out in training and not freak out in the actual scene. So we're going to push you to your limits. We're going to make you break down.
Also with this, and y'all have to understand this is a side of that a lot of people don't think of. Y'all are called to a lot of accidents on the highways and byways that people are hurt, and y'all have to help get them out of entrapments, and heaven forbid it be something worse.
Yeah. And that's, we do training.
How do you train for that, Odie, of the psychological part of what you're going to see? You can't really train for that. You've just got to deal with it. And we have psychologists, whether we use WEAMS or we've got some psychologists that's in some of our departments that will gladly show up and talk to you and help you through what you saw if you need to express your feelings. But every one of us are there for each other. That's our brother. That's our sister. We are family. But if we're at a scene and you see a bunch of firefighters sitting off to the side and the scene is actually a sad scene, but we're sitting there kind of giggling and talking and laughing, we're not laughing at that scene. That is our response to our mental Because it can shake you up, can't it?
It can. It can really shake you up. And then it starts, depending on what that scene is, it can bring you back and you start seeing your family there. So that's how we deal with that is we try and lighten that load in our minds.
You're kind of saying don't judge a book by the cover. Of
exactly, until you've seen that. Because we do see some things that that really will shake you up and put you in a bad situation if you don't deal with it. And the way we deal with it is, like me and Greg, we give each other a hard time, and we're laughing and carrying on. And that's just a coping mechanism that a lot of first responders use. It's not meant to show anything that it should be off color. We just, that's how we deal with certain situations.
I remember I was probably about 16 years old, me and Jimmy Thomas, many, many moons ago, just north of Scuba. There's a stretch of highway known as Presley Bottom, and it's a 2 to 3 mile flat stretch before you get to the Noxubee County line. He and I had been hunting. We were coming back, and we saw a fire, and we pull up, and it was a head-on collision. He and I jump out, and the guy, he was driving a car, and his father was behind him. And the car was on fire. We jumped in. We pulled the boy out, and he had one mark right here on his forehead, and the post of the car slapped him when the car wreck happened, and it killed him instantly. Wow. And we pulled him to safety. The other gentleman made it, who was drunk driving. And that scene, I have never been able to shake that. The sorrow that father had holding his son there on that ground. It was the most awful thing. It brings me to reality to appreciate my life so much more after seeing something like that. And I can't imagine that every day.
Yeah, and it really does. It makes you think of family, and it keeps you always reminding yourself, tell them you love them.
Yeah.
We're never guaranteed tomorrow. So tell everybody, hey, I love you. Miss you. See you tomorrow. You mean the world to me. And just the way you deal with it is individually. I may deal with something completely different than Greg does. Greg may deal with it different than Alan does. But in the long run, we're going to deal with it together. We're going to work through this as a family, because we are a family. And it's individually how we deal with things.
Coming up, we got more with Odie and, of course, more of Miss Candace. All that's all the way next here with Scotty Ray and Candace as we move through this morning. Let's talk about our friends over at Godwin. What they do, and they do this very well, and that's clean your office, your business, your home, whatever the case is. If you go down North Hill Street, you've seen this building before. It looks crispy and clean now. Why? Because, Godwin come by and done a number on it. In no time flat, it was back to the way it used to look there, from the roof down, from the brick, all the way around. And if you've got a house, this just kind of happens over a period. The first time, probably, if it's a brand new house, a year and a half, this will start taking over.
Yes, it will.
The longer your house is, it doesn't take but about 6 months. And you won't even be able to notice it. And then one day you wake up and your house looks like that. Get it cleaned, of course.
I know, and it's easy to get overwhelmed with stuff like that. Like, what do I do? How do I make it look better? Just give Godwin a call. They'll come out and pressure wash it and make it look like new again.
There you go. From a roof that was black to the way it used to look, including the paint and shutters, all of that. And you go through this, many different roofs look this way. They can set you up on a schedule where it's once every quarter, twice a year, whatever the case is that your home needs, they'll do that. Make it look great again. Chimneys, get rid of the old rust. And if you've got these things that drip all the time near your air conditioner, you'll do that to your walls as well. Godwin Cleaning Service, get on a schedule with them and find out why so many people are using them. That number to call, 253-8262. They'll help you there.
No matter what hat you wear, if you're hurt on the job, you're gonna need me. We've helped thousands of our injured clients get their medical bills paid and recover lost wages. And we're ready to help do the same for you today. One call, that's all.
Rock House Gun and Pawn is open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. Lots of different calibers and brands to choose from when it comes to hunting rifles. Whether you're looking for a new pump shotgun or an AR, the Rock House will have the gun that you need. With a huge selection of ammunition for just about any caliber that you may be looking for. Pistols, scopes, and a whole lot more. Plus a private lobby for your confidentiality when it comes to your pawns. Rock House Gun and Pawn, located at 5430 Highway 19 North Meridian.
And welcome back with Scotty Ray and Candace. As you have not heard the news this morning, Odie, I'll bring you in on this. Bill Cosby has been cleared. They are not going to investigate him anymore. The Supreme Court ruled yesterday he's a free man and cannot be investigated again. Pennsylvania had sought to overturn that decision of his freedom.
Wow.
So do you think he's paid enough?
No, I mean, it had to do with something about somebody who had given a testimony. I don't know. I heard it yesterday. It's a lot more to it than just...
But at the end of the day, they're not going to do anything to him. He's free to go now.
Well, last time I saw a picture of him, he didn't look like he had that much longer to go anyway.
That jailhouse photo was rough.
Yeah.
But he's back out on the street there. A tornado that hit Iowa. I don't know if everybody's up to date on this, because we didn't have bad weather here. But it was a family that was hit, and all the siblings and father were killed, and one child and a mother made it. And this was Iowa.
And if I'm not mistaken, like right after the tornadic weather, snow came in, right? Or
Yeah.
it was coming in, but that is just awful.
This is a picture of the family. And we pass along condolences to them.
I can't even imagine.
Now, and that's another thing that y'all do is dealing with severe weather there. When it breaks out, y'all mean business. When you start putting out, we've got this in the next day or two. Pay attention, right, Odie?
Yeah, we go from 0 to 100 mile an hour pretty quick, and complacency. We've run into situations where complacency caused some damage. Luckily, it wasn't to a human life, but complacency is not a good thing to deal with, and keep pushing off, alarms and alerts. Bad weather's coming.
Pay attention.
And bad weather doesn't. And then all of a sudden we say bad weather's coming, and you blow it off and say, well, they were wrong the last 2 times, and this time it really did happen. Yes, we do push out. Hey, we have a possibility of a tornado. We've got a possibility of flood. We've got this. Stay vigilant. Stay up to date on the weather-wise. Pay attention, and continue to do that each and every storm, because crying wolf is not the way to end up on the backside of a tornado.
No.
Let me ask one question real quick. Talking about tornadoes and storm shelters. This was brought up the other day with me talking to somebody, and we were talking about storm shelters. Does someone who gets one put in, do they need to register that in some kind of way, or let somebody know they have one in case something happens, and say it was a lot of debris that maybe had landed on, just so somebody would know that they're there?
We want them to, whether it be through the volunteer fire department that's in their area or with our office. Somebody needs to know where their shelter's at, how to get in that shelter. Some shelters are inside of a home underneath in the basement, and if the home collapses on top of it and there's no way for them to get out, we need to know where that entrance is, so when a neighbor goes checks on them and can't find them, they call us. We know where to start moving debris from to get to them.
Okay.
And I work very close with y'all. If I see something, I contact y'all, and it's a good working relationship.
It is awesome, and we've enjoyed the relationship we've built with you, and getting information out to the public. Sometimes it's easier to get with you and say, hey, can you push this out, than it is for us to grab the computer and start pushing things out. And I tell you, working with you has been great, and I think it's going to be for the betterment of Lauderdale County. That's for sure.
I appreciate that. But as always, we'll keep you on top of what's going on through the Lauderdale County Emergency Management and through our weather here, keeping you safe. That's it. That's what it's about. Definitely. And this goes for all counties. If you can hear me, we're going to be there for you to make sure this happens. Well, we're already coming up at the top of the hour. Can y'all believe this?
I know it.
And somewhere in Lauderdale County right now, there's a wife that goes, still got life to go. And she's married to somebody named Greg.
Somewhere in Lauderdale County is Greg. We don't know where. Well, he's out there somewhere.
We're pulling for you, Greg. Save us a biscuit.
Bring us some to the office.
Yeah.
There you go. We're going to come back tomorrow, and we'll tell you all what's going on in our area. We'll keep up with anything that goes on in our community today. If there is a wreck, we'll do our best to get that out there, whether it's more gunshots or whatever the case is. We'll be here to protect you or relay the message. That's probably a better way to word that.
That's right.
Just pay attention to what's going on in your surroundings. If you hear something, call the police if it's not right, so that they'll be aware of what's going on in the community.
That's right.
When in question, call.
That's right. Thank you, Candace. And Odie, thank you for coming by and spending some time with us.
Enjoyed it. I really did. Thank you for having me.
We'll see y'all bright and early tomorrow morning once again.
Have a great day.
Scotty Ray's Weather is brought to you by our following partners: